Welcome back, everybody, to Stand Up for News. All right, I am Mac James Esterline, your host, and my co-host here, Robin Savage, is back.
Hey!
Welcome back. We're a Hollywood Connection special, Stand Up for News Season 2, Episode 2. We also have our other co-host,
Captain Jim Martin.
Captain Jim Martin. Say hello. Marvin, I'm sorry. You made me say it. Our other co-host,
Captain Jim Martin.
Captain Jim Martin. Say hello. Marvin, I'm sorry. You made me say it wrong.
I made you say it.
Welcome back again. So last week was fun. And we have on the phone Russell Mania, I hope, my other co-host.
Hi, Russell.
He's at work.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Not a lot. Well, yeah, a lot, actually.
Right, we're going to get to that. And then, so we're still looking for a new sponsor. Leverox is no longer our sponsor. No longer pushing those hush puppy recipes, you guys. Do you remember what I told you about their secret recipe? They're real mad about it. Yeah, their hush puppies, whenever somebody orders hush puppies there, I go out back behind the restaurant and I would grab the loudest little puppy that we had in our little puppy pen, and he'd be like, ruff, 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 and I'd be like, shh. And I'd stab his little puppy neck, take him in the kitchen, and then we'd take a melon baller, scoop him out, and put him in the deep fryer after we season them, and then we plate them up and serve them to you fine folks at Leverox. So they're no longer our sponsor, you guys.
Maybe PETA could be our sponsor now, James.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, I couldn't even eat them, but they were delicious. On our secret recipe menu, we had hush kittens, too.
Oh.
But it was the same thing. Out back, there was a little kitten pen, and I would go out back, and I'd get the loudest little kitten, and it'd be like, meow, 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 and I'd snap its little kitten neck all humanely, take it in the kitchen, get a melon baller out, a different one, because we don't cross-contaminate at Leverox. I'm no longer there anymore, but... yeah, we take them in there, deep fry them up and everything. We didn't use like Chihuahuas though. They were too loud. Too loud. They were too spicy. We use like St. Bernards because they're real fluffy.
Sounds like Chinese food to me.
You can get a lot more. Oh.
What do you serve them with ketchup?
Good one, Russell. No, the ones that were already loud, that were already barking because ours were freshly hushed. The quiet ones, we sent them to Checkers and they put them in a freezer there. Because ours were freshly hushed. They put them in a freezer there because they have chili dogs. Yes. No longer will we be doing Leverox commercials here at Stand Up for News. So let's get started with the news. I'll start, and we will do the same pattern. After Jim, then I want to hear Russell tell us some news as well. So we'll go in that circle, me, and obviously Robin, then Jim, and then Russell, then me. In Germany, $60,000 worth of prize bull semen was stolen from a bull sperm bank, I guess, wherever you steal that from in Germany. They should have just paid for it, though, since it was calf off.
Oh.
You like that, Bobby? Good, good. Yeah, inflation has caused bull sperm prices to shoot to the moon.
I actually have two bull semen jokes as well as two. In Germany, police are seeking help in the stolen bull semen case. Farmers left with the difficult task of replacing the supply are enticing.
I don't know. That's coming from one of those mics.
Oh, okay. Am I talking too closely to it?
Is there headphones by one of them? Oh, turn that one a little bit. There you go. That's good. So just move over to it.
You're saying, Robin?
Weird thing.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be my Apple Watch, would it?
I've seen weirder things, but
Okay.
Here. Moving right along.
My
Go ahead.
second bull
Start over.
semen joke. Okay. Let me start over with the first one.
I'm sorry.
German police are seeking the help in a stolen bull semen case. Farmers left with a difficult task of replacing the supply are enticing young bulls by offering them a year subscription to Cornhub. My second one, German police are seeking help in solving a stolen bull semen case. In other news, Deutsche McDonald's announced that they're adding a new secret sauce to their menu.
Jim, how was your week in news?
Very, very active week. Found out in a new poll of Democratic voters that an overwhelming majority responded that they did not want Joe Biden to run for president again next year because of his advanced age. The president replied to the poll results, "That's baloney, Jack. I'm not too old to keep leading this Boy Scout troop. Grab your packs, fellas. We're heading to the jamboree." Well, you've proven us wrong once again, Joe.
I would say I think Nancy Feinstein was retiring as well too for age reasons.
They need to.
Yeah.
Russell, how we doing, bud?
I'm doing fine. I got one for you. You know, you heard that there was a red balloon spotted over the Super Bowl. Okay, it was flying over the Super Bowl. Turns out it was Rihanna, and they shot her down.
Oh,
And so on her way down, she goes, "You're just gonna stand there and watch me burn."
I watched some Super Bowl commercials too, and then also the controversial call. Cam Soda Body Lube Company offered 55 gallons of body lubricant to the city of Philadelphia before the game to lube up all the poles downtown so that the Eagles fans didn't climb them if their team would have won the Super Bowl. But rumor has it the refs wound up using it to screw the Eagles.
no.
Here's a funny thing. A Chilean woman becomes the first person to swim 1.55 miles in the Antarctica. When asked how she handled the extreme cold, she said, "I was just Chilean." You like that, Bobby?
I did.
Robin, how we doing?
Okay, keeping up in the same chili theme, New Mexico is considering making roasted chili as their official state aroma. Not to be outdone, New Jersey confirms that landfill has always been that state's fragrance for decades.
Ah,
Good old New
funny
Jersey.
and true. Try Jersey.
Try Jersey.
All right, not far away, the Pennsylvania Historical Commission said last month that it will no longer permit Civil War battle reenactments on its site that simulate the exchange of fire from weapons, the taking of casualties, or hand-to-hand combat. Well, what are the actors on the battlefield supposed to do now? Write poorly spelled letters to home while pretending to die of dysentery and wounds from bar fights? Why would I stand in the middle of a baking hot field in Pennsylvania to watch that when I can go and see a real shootout in the comfort of a local air-conditioned Walmart?
Nice. I remember hearing about that. We talked about it.
We talked about that.
Or any neighborhood in Lakeland lately. So yeah,
Oh,
I do have another.
It's your turn.
Yes, in England, there was a sign for McDonald's that said McCrispy sandwiches. They were advertising it. They were forced to take it down though because it was deemed in bad taste. It was set right next to a crematorium. So apparently, we now know what's in those chicken nuggets.
Oh, no.
We were talking about that in the parking lot. Super Bowl commercials are a big topic this week all throughout media. And congrats to WrestleMania, buddy. I saw the trailer for your College Days documentary coming out. It's called Cocaine Bear.
Grr, baby. Grr. It's a gay version, though.
Okay.
We do blow, but not that kind.
Oh.
Okay, I got another two punchline joke. After New Zealand police found 3.5 tons of cocaine in the ocean, Free Willy has once again been incarcerated.
Oh.
And then my second one about that. After New Zealand police found 3.5 tons of cocaine in the ocean, Universal Studios is developing a sequel to their hit 2023 movie entitled Cocaine Orca.
I was expecting something about those whales.
Yeah.
They should revisit Waterworld now.
Yeah.
In Poland, a mother of 7 gives birth to quintuplets. Although born premature, doctors in Warsaw say the quintuplets will be fine. The mother says she is happy to have the 5 newborns to add to the 7 children already in her family for a grand total of 9 children. You may want to check your math at dinner time, Mom.
Former Army Secretary Adams urges the U.S. to, quote, wake up and, quote, prepare for the worst when it comes to the recent China aggressions. He said that 2 days ago. Dear Secretary, that's exactly what I've been telling myself 5 inches from the bathroom mirror for 47 years.
You need 5 inches? Mm. Lucky you.
Okay. In 2023, many Sherlock Holmes books and short story collections by Virginia Woolf and Ernest Hemingway have become public domain now. Gen Z TikTokers responded by asking, are they like influencers or something? I don't know.
Several travelers sustained minor injuries when a passenger jet being towed at LAX collided with a shuttle bus on the tarmac, bringing new meaning to the term Airbus.
Crazy. Sean Hannity defends Republicans by quoting, not a single Republican ever said they want to take away Social Security. Although recently Mike Lee, a Republican representative, said, it will be my objective to phase out Social Security. But Hannity wasn't wrong. Mike Lee isn't single. He's married to Sharon Lee. Stupid. But thank you, Lewis Cooper, for helping me write that one.
Okay. An owl escaped a Central Park zoo after his cage was badly damaged. The owl has been spotted all over New York City, trying to see how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
3.
3.
It's definitely 3.
I'm glad you figured. Answered
I
that
could do it in 2.
Russell.
Whoa there, pal.
Just saying.
Speaking of old wise things on the loose, in Portland, Oregon, a herd of famous goats were released from their downtown enclosure by self-described anarchists in protest of the sweep of a homeless encampment. All of the runaway goats were retrieved by staff, but dozens of local runners who caught word of the escape and showed up on the scene had to be told that the loose goats were a prank and not, in fact, the start of Portland's annual tradition, the running of the goats. Quite a sense of humor there in Portland.
All right. Coyote runs wild through a Washington hospital last week. After 4 hours of eluding capture, they finally caught him by painting a tunnel on a wall.
Oh.
That's how you get 'em.
That was my favorite one you sent me.
You liked that one?
I really liked that one. That was good. That was written by Acme.
Yeah, I stole that from Acme.
Yeah.
Acme joke book.
The Acme joke book
It comes with,
by Coyote Coyote.
it comes with a free anvil.
Oh, yes, with every purchase.
Yeah. Okay, and keeping with the animal theme, a snake that escaped its cage in a Kentucky elementary school was found 3 months later inside of the same classroom. School officials questioned the janitor who said, I was supposed to sweep the floor?
Oh. Yeah, that's funny.
It was funny.
It's one of those things. I'm visualizing it and going, he probably saw it and said, I ain't sweeping this freaking floor. No, thank you.
I don't get paid enough to sweep snakes. Yeah.
That's like, you sort of, like that. This room is hissing. I got to go.
Yeah.
This is how standing up for the news should be. The news needs to be stood up for because it can't just stand up for itself. It wasn't born with legs, you know.
Yeah.
It was born in a wheelchair. So, Robin, I like that one. All right, Jim.
All right.
We moving on to our new segment. We continue from last season. We did it a few times. This week in history, old news but good news. What'd you call it? A laugh from the past.
Laughs from the past.
Let's see what you got. I couldn't find anything that we didn't already work on together, so I'm gonna let you two. You wrote some, right, Robin?
Yeah, I
You
got
found
some
stuff. I'll let you two handle that segment. Fire away.
All right, let's take it way back to 1659. That's when the first known check was written for a total of £400 and can now be seen on display at Westminster Abbey in London. If you look close enough at it, you can still see an imprint on the check which reads, overdrawn. Somebody in my family must have written that check.
I wonder if they tried to put it on the cash register. Okay, this week in history, February 14th, 1962, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy gave a televised tour of the White House, and it was watched by 75% of Americans. The other 25% were in her husband's hotel room.
They stole the towels.
They stole the towels.
This week in history, in 1848, James Polk becomes the first U.S. president to be photographed while in office. President Polk can be seen in the photo wearing a long-tailed black coat, top hat, and being handed an envelope by robber baron Cornelius Vanderbilt with a $1,000 bribe in it. Yeah, these jokes would be a lot funnier if all you had paid attention in school.
You didn't hit me with that one earlier.
I was saving.
You were saving the punchline on me. I'm like, when is he just? When's this joke gonna get funny?
This week in history, Theodore Roosevelt's wife and mother died on February 14th, 1884. When hearing this fact, Mike Pence said, "They were two separate women?"
Oh.
He calls his wife mother.
Oh, yeah, I heard they do the same thing in West Virginia, but they are the same person in West Virginia
All right.
and in Polk County.
This week in news, 1857, Gallaudet College, the National College for the Deaf and Mute, forms in Washington, D.C. After over 165 years in existence, not one deaf college in America has ever heard of it. Don't tell them I said that.
Oh,
I
oh.
was
You have
thinking.
to feel your way through that one.
A little bumpy.
I was thinking you were gonna somehow make it deaf as DEF, like cool. But okay, this week in history, February 16th, 1937, Wallace H. Carruthers, a chemist for DuPont, received a patent for nylon, answering the age-old question: what comes first, the pantyhose or the plastic egg? He got
That
the
is
old for that one.
You had to research for that one, man. That's
That was a Google search,
right?
and you
That's
came up eggs.
Yeah.
We got any more of those? Are we saving any?
Got a bunch.
I got one more.
Because I got, let's see. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, in 1859, the French government passes a law to set the A note above middle C to a frequency of 435 hertz in an attempt to standardize the pitch. A defiant British parliament refused to acknowledge the standard set by the French, responding in an official proclamation, "Our nation may be held in the throes of nigh 100 dilemmas. Hark, no dissonance of our voices may be counted amongst them." Translation, we got 99 problems, but our pitch ain't one. They started a war over that.
Oh.
I like that.
Da-da-da.
Okay, my last this week in history. This week in history, February 15th, 1965, it was proclaimed by Queen Elizabeth II of England that the maple leaf would be Canada's new national flag symbol. Outraged, a nation of polite Canadians took to the streets and said, "Okay, sure."
Okay, sure.
And then finally, in 1968, the first 911 call is made in the U.S. The caller is still on hold.
Back to recent news. In the news, Dionne Foster, or Dyann, named the world's oldest female comedian at age 88 on her birthday last week. Happy birthday, Dionne Foster. I said happy birthday, Dionne Foster.
She didn't have a hearing aid on. She could hear you through the teeth, though.
All right. For New York Mayor, war on rats has become personal. Mayor Adams has claimed to make rodent control priority number one, but February 9th was issued with 2 tickets in violation of the health department codes for allowing broods of vermin to take residence in his 2 townhouses. But he is a politician, so hey, rats got to stick together.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
true.
We can't kill rats here in Florida because they're all registered Republicans and DeSantis needs to vote.
Okay. A scientist in France is developing a laser lightning rod aimed at redirecting lightning. Marjorie, how come I can't say that?
I don't know.
Marjorie Taylor Greene found out and declared, "Great, now the French Jews are trying to control the weather."
Because she spells her name funny.
She does. It would have been funny
Marjorie.
had I said it right.
Oh, I like her. She's going to give us so much material.
Russell knows I'm a registered Republican, by the way.
Oh.
I have reformed.
You know I'm a registered Republican, but you did like my MGTG joke last week, right?
I did. Everybody liked it. It was cool.
That's funny. Jim, fire when ready.
All right. Let's see. A study by the Virginia Highway Administration finds majority of commuters in the state are hard of hearing. Extensive research by the agency has determined that most Virginia drivers have never heard of keeping a following distance or signaling a lane change.
I didn't hear that. Could you repeat it?
You're from Virginia, aren't you, Russell?
No, but my mother was. She's in hell now, so
At least you're ending it on a happy note, Russell.
Russell, you got
I'm
any more
happy.
news jokes for me? You got
I only thing I have is of the event that happened today,
well,
and I turned it into a joke.
let me finish this.
Okay.
No, you go ahead. Tell us about your thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Zoe's in St. Pete has had so much turnover that the manager's office has installed a revolving door. Okay. And I mean, I had another part to that. Damn it, I forgot. Oh well. That was just there enough alone, but some people are woke or too woke, and I will not work in any place that will tell me that people need to control what they say and how they say it if it's an open mic night.
All right. First
Stay
of all,
home,
if they
then.
would have had 200 people in the place, there wouldn't have been a complainer. Even if there was, they wouldn't have mattered. The place was packed, right? Second of all, they didn't advertise. They should have spent $25 on some couple posters and some table tents. That's not that big a deal, but they didn't do that. So they are responsible for not filling the place. And if they want to open mic, you can't control what comes out of the community's mouths. Guy Dudley.
So let's give a big hand for Artie
You got screwed out
Fletcher.
of a room, Guy Dudley.
I do have to say one nice thing about Zoe's. It was beautiful. Like
Yeah, it's nice.
aesthetically, it was absolutely beautiful. The stage and the curtain behind it was so pretty. So,
Oh yeah, I got the other part now. Okay, you will see them on a future episode of Bar Rescue.
Oh, man. February 9th, the Indian government, they asked people to hug cows on Valentine's Day. And they want that to be the new tradition in India to promote Hinduism instead of promoting commercial romance. And on the day of the 14th. And for some people, it's probably the same thing, I hear. But I didn't know Lizzo was a Hindu.
Oh, I've been known to hug some beef on Valentine's Day.
A 30-year-old dog, Lucy, becomes the new oldest dog in the world, beating Fifi from last year, who used to be 23. They discovered a 30-year-old dog. Her birthday was last week. Yeah, so happy birthday, bitch. I gotta pass it over to Robin if you have any more.
I don't have any more, but
We're closing in on 5 minutes left here.
I was going to say, I read an article. I couldn't think of the punchline, but I read an article where a man in Georgia got a DWI because he got naked and stole an ambulance. So they picked him up driving around an ambulance naked. Couldn't think of a punchline because I felt like that in itself was a punchline.
They're trying to keep up with Florida.
Yeah, I know. What's even a Florida man? And can you imagine, like, oh, there's an ambulance. Help! I'm choking. Oh my God, he's naked. So,
Choking his
Then
chicken.
somebody else will be choking.
Exactly. All right, 2 missing tamarins. 2 missing male tamarin monkeys went missing from a Dallas zoo last week. They were found in the closet of an abandoned home. I guess since it's Texas, I can understand why they were in the closet.
Oh.
The furious zookeeper spanked his monkey severely. He also scorned his tamarins. There's a tiger on the loose in South Africa, finally captured last week and returned to the zoo he escaped from. Tigers don't belong in zoos, you guys. They should be free to run and play with all the other tigers on a golf course. Eating sugary cereals. Take it away.
Have you guys heard about this one? Parents in 9 states across the country can now safely drop off an unwanted baby at a, quote, baby box located at hospitals, police, and fire stations. Well, I just thought that was dumpsters were for.
Oh.
So could I go there and pick one up then and adopt it?
Well, you might like this, Russell. Floridians can also safely drop off unwanted partners in a larger size version known as the Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I've left a few there.
Milli Vanilli's cousin, he's gone to a mental institute. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
He's gone crazy because his cousins, Milli Vanilli, back in the 80s, wouldn't let him in their band. They said his heart wasn't really in it. He was willy-nilly, Milli Vanilli.
He was the real talented singer, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
A statue in California of the founding meatpacking tycoon mandate. Remember we talked about this, you guys? He was beheaded. The statue was beheaded, and the head is still missing. The prime suspect as of now is still Bill Clinton. Haven't you got enough head yet, Bill?
Never.
Oh.
I did not.
I'll
Have
save the
relations with
rest
that
of these
statue.
for next week.
Yeah.
So, we were supposed to have a guest, Nathan Gilardi, but they kept him at work. So he was a host on the show last year. He wanted to come back and co-host. He wasn't here, so we're calling him out. Get Thursdays off next week, you son of a gun. We love you. You're my buddy and everything, and you're my best friend, but still. Yeah, you put us in a spot. And then Stefano Capicato said he would come on. He asked if we had room for him. And he did a no-show, no-call on us. Didn't even respond to the message. What do you guys got to say about that?
He didn't even open the door when we stopped by his house and knocked on it.
He didn't have any to stand up for anyway. I told him just don't come if you ain't got if you can't write some bits before the show starts. Well, let's sing the song before we finish off since we didn't start with it.
Can I do one quick plug?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Everything. We got time, right? 1 minute.
First Friday, March 3rd, I have a open mic at Smokehouse in West Chase, and also Ed Shed. If you guys ever watch Ed Shed, we're doing Ed Shed live at the Florida Fringe Festival.
What's the address to that smoke shop?
I will come back. It's on
It's on-
Racetrack
yeah.
Road. Yeah, that's the only one on Racetrack Road.
It's a good room. All right, that's it
Yep.
for us. Stand up, produce. Stand up, produce. We'll stand up for you. You can stand up too. Don't sit down. Stand up now. Stand up, produce. Stand up,
FM
produce.
106.1,
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3,
WZHR, Zephyr Hills.
FM 104.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. President Biden talks publicly about China's spy balloon and 3 others shot down recently. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
The president said it's the current assessment of the intelligence community that the 3 objects he ordered shot out of the sky within the last week did not belong to China.
These 3 objects were most likely balloons tied to private companies, recreation, or research institutions studying weather or conducting other scientific research.
As for the larger Chinese spy balloon, Mr. Biden says he'll be talking that over with Xi Jinping.
And I hope we're going to get to the bottom of this, but I make no apologies for taking down that balloon.
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is in the hospital after seeking help for severe depression. CBS's Scott McFarland.
A statement from his chief of staff says John Fetterman checked himself into the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for treatment for depression. The statement says Fetterman has experienced depression, quote, on and off throughout his life, but that it became severe in recent weeks. Fetterman is also recovering from a stroke suffered during a very heated campaign for Pennsylvania's Senate seat last year.
Winter storm warnings are in effect tonight across the Midwest, including Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. For this south central Iowa driver,
It's ice covered, snow covered, semis white out, obviously, when you can't see.
the investigation into corruption charges against the Republican Attorney General of Texas is handed to the Justice Department in Washington, D.C. from federal prosecutors in Texas. Reporter Chris Fox.
In 2020, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's top deputies went to the FBI with bribery and abuse of office charges against him. He's denied wrongdoing. Now his attorneys say they actually petitioned for the DOJ in Washington to take over the investigation. Rice University political scientist Mark Jones says Paxton's legal team is dragging out the investigation on purpose.
This is going to add an additional delay, perhaps until there's a new administration, one that could be a Republican administration.